Hello and welcome to Inspirational Stories and Facts. Today we are going to tell you about some facts in Queen Elizabeth II's reign which you may not heard of. If you want to hear more inspirational stories and facts like this, then a sub to the channel would be astounding. Let's jump in. Queen Elizabeth II, who ruled the United Kingdom for 7 decades, was such a long standing institution that it's easy to forget she wasn't supposed to have become queen at all. Queen Elizabeth II's coronation, June 2, 1953. Held at Westminster Abbey, Elizabeth's coronation ceremony was the first to be broadcast live on television. Some 27 million people in the United Kingdom, out of a total population of 36 million, watched the ceremony, and 11 million more listened on the radio. Afterward, some 3 million people lined the road as the Queen and her entourage made their slow procession back to Buckingham Palace. She didn't have a passport. Despite being history's most widely traveled head of the state, she reportedly visited 116 countries during her reign. Elizabeth did not hold a passport. Since all British passports are issued in the Queen's name, she herself didn't need one. She also didn't require a driver license. Though she was known to take joyrides around her various estates in her Range Rover. She had two different birthdays. The British monarch was born Elizabeth Alexandra Mary of York on April 21, 1926. However, each Commonwealth country traditionally celebrates her birthday on a designated day in May or June. In the United Kingdom, for instance, it falls on the first, second, or third Saturday in June. Britain officially marked her birthday since 1748 when the event was merged with the annual Trooping the Colour ceremony and parade. Elizabeth typically spent her real birthday enjoying private festivities with her family. She drove a truck during World War II. After months of begging her father to let his heir pitch in, Elizabeth, then an 18-year-old princess, joined the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service during World War II. Known as Second Subaltern Elizabeth Windsor, she donned a pair of coveralls and trained in London as a mechanic and military truck driver. The Queen was the only female member of the royal family to have entered the armed forces and was the only living head of the state who served in the World War II. She paid for her wedding dress with Russian coupons. Princess Elizabeth married her third cousin Philip Mountbatten, formerly Prince of Greece and Denmark, on November 20, 1947. Held during the post-war recovery years, their wedding was a relatively understated affair, at least compared to the lavish union of Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer in July 1981. With austerity measures still in effect, Elizabeth had to save up Russian coupons to purchase the material for her wedding dress, an ivory satin gown designed by Norman Hartnell and encrusted with 10,000 white pearls. Annus Horribilis 1992. Charles and Diana in 1992 announced their decision to separate. Prince Andrew, the Queen's second son, and his wife Sarah Ferguson also separated, while Anne discovered her husband, Mark Phillips, divorced. Later that year, a fire broke out in Windsor Castle, destroying more than 100 rooms. In a speech delivered to mark the 14th anniversary of her succession, Queen Elizabeth II remarked that 1992 has turned out to be an annus horribilis, Latin for a horrible year. Response to Princess Diana's death 1997. Public criticism of the royal family grew more intense after Charles and Diana's divorce in 1996 and especially after Diana's death in a car crash in Paris the following summer. The Queen initially remained at her estate in Balmoral, Scotland, and refused to allow the flag to fly at half mast over Buckingham Palace or address the grieving nation. At the urging of her advisers, she soon revised her stance on the flag's return to London to greet crowds of mourners and delivered a rare televised address to a nation devastated by the loss of people's princess. She sent an email in 1976. On March 26, 1976, Queen Elizabeth sent her first email while taking part in a network technology demonstration at the Royal Signals and Radar Establishment, a research facility in Malvern, England. The message was transmitted over ARPANET, the forerunner of the modern Internet. She is considered the first head of state to have used electronic mail. She was shot by a teenager. During her birthday celebration on June 13, 1981, shots rang out as Elizabeth rode a horse in a parade near Buckingham Palace. Marcus Sargent, a 17-year-old who idolized the assassin of John F. Kennedy and John Lennon, had fired six blank shots in the Queen's direction. Swiftly subdued by police, the teen spent 3 years in the psychiatric prison. Elizabeth, meanwhile, merely calmed her startled horse and resumed the procession. She once woke up to find a stalker in her bedroom. On July 9, 1982, a 31-year-old psychiatric patient named Michael Fagan scaled at Buckingham Palace drain pipe and sauntered into Elizabeth's chamber. The sleeping monarch awoke to find a strange man perched on the edge of her bed, dripping blood from where he had cut his hand while wandering the palace's dark corridors. Initially unable to reach the police, Elizabeth was said to have engaged Fagan in conversation for at least 10 minutes, listening to him chat about his personal problems and relationship with his four children. Finally, a footman roused from his slumber seized the loquacious intruder. It turned out that Fagan, who was ordered to spend 6 months in a mental hospital, had also crept into royal residence weeks earlier, making off with a bottle of Prince Charles' white wine. We hope you like this video. We would appreciate if you press the like and subscribe button and share this video with your friends. Stay tuned for more amazing stories and facts every week. We wish you a blessed and happy day. Goodbye.